Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin. Infinite Storm is starring Naomi Watts. This is based on a true story where this hiker goes on this hike one day. A terrible storm comes along and she runs into this guy named John, and she basically has to help him survive the night in this terrible storm to get off the mountain. So this is the final movie that I have to catch up on. This was kind of like a movie I was somewhat sort of looking forward to. I really don't. I've been in a weird phase where I just want to watch like survival type of movies, like Adrift. Adrift is like another movie that I watched recently. I forget the actress's name in it, but I kind of enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed it a lot more than others. I was just in that weird stage, and this was one of those movies that I was like, all right, I'm kind of looking forward to see. And next it comes out very boring. No offense to the actual people that went through this situation. I am just going off this as a movie. And the thing is, some true stories don't work as a movie. Like, you just can't tell, like, or at least in this way, or like the way that you want it to be told. And I understand that you want it to be like full on, like, you know, like true and all that. I have no problem with what goes into, like, what goes down in the movie, besides one part. We'll talk about that later. But the way that this movie was just told, either that wasn't how she wanted to be told. I don't know. I have no idea how any of this was wanted to be, or how it was originally to be, or this is just how it was. Like, I don't know. But the way that this movie was told, it was very poorly done. And so the way that this movie told is like, we don't learn anything about our characters until the very end of the movie. Like, we literally don't know anything. We know that she's like a rescuer, hiker. I don't know what you call them. She's like a part of a rescue team, basically. And so she goes on this hike and she runs into this random guy. We don't know his name. She basically calls him John, and she has to help him down the mountain. And so none of these characters really talk to each other. It's very silent. It's very silent dialogue. And next, we get somewhat like flashbacks to our main character's past life, but they're kind of useless flashbacks. But I even know what kind of goes down by the time the movie is like over. Like, we figure out what those flashbacks were, but they were off. But we don't learn anything until like they're literally off the mountain. Like, this movie probably takes place like an hour, 10 minutes. Probably even less than that. I can't remember the runtime of this movie, but I remember that them being on this mountain was very short. It was very like time limit, and we were more off the mountain than anything else. And it's like, I don't care anymore. You guys survive. I know, like the tension of your character development is gone. It's just like it's like kind of pointless. Like, it's at the point of like where a movie should know when it's over, but it keeps going. But this movie would have been maybe an hour long, 10 minutes long, if it ended with them getting off the mountain. And so it should have been more of like, maybe move some of that stuff right here. You know, yes, it's not all fully like true of what happened maybe, but at least it would flow as a story. It would flow as a movie. Maybe this is just not meant for a movie, and you maybe have it as a book. Maybe it is a book. I have no idea. I'm just saying that this doesn't work as a movie. And so, and no offense to them or however, it's mostly, I'm looking at this from the writer's perspective, the directing perspective, the editing perspective. The editing is awful. Like, this movie jump cuts to random situations and to like just random areas all over the place, and it feels messy. Like, suddenly we jump cut to them in a tight situation, and it's like, whoa, oh, how did we get here? We were just up there. How are we down? Like, it's like that. It's like, how did we get here? Like, there's no flow to the movie, and one for those examples that they're on this log, like their main characters are on this log that goes across this river, and they have to get across. And so it's supposed to be a tense scene, but you're like, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how we got here, so I just don't care. You kind of feel taken out of the moment. You feel that suspense gone, and it's just sudden. Oh, okay, great. All right, you guys are in a dying situation somehow. Cool. And speaking of that situation, this is the part I was talking about at the beginning of the review. I just kind of felt kind of like out of left field, and it kind of didn't make any sense. Again, I don't know if this is how it went down, and if this is how she reacted, but her character comes off like an asshole in this moment in the movie where so she's across on the other side of this river. John is about trying to cross this log, and this guy is freezing to death. This guy has barely any clothing on, at least the proper clothing on. Besides maybe a jacket and socks that she keeps swapping out throughout the when they're up there. And he is basically on the edge of death. And so she goes like, okay, be careful, don't fall, it's very slippery, you will fall in. And what he does, he falls in. He gets taken down with the river, and next they go down the mountain, and next she basically finds him down at the bottom of the river, and she goes like, quit being an asshole, I told you not to fall in. I'm like, that I get you are somewhat frustrated, but this guy is just on the edge of death. Why are you getting pissed off at him? I don't know. It felt like she came off like a complete asshole in that moment, and it really bothered me for some reason. But besides all that doesn't. There's still problems with this movie. The editing, the way it's told, and by the time they're off the mountain, it's just like I don't care. And that's where the movie like immediately slows down, and it's like, this is supposed to be over. Why are we starting to do character development? Because we find out that she has more problems with her life, when that really should have been told while they were on the mountain. And next we figure out the whole reason why when they get off of the mountain, not as soon as they get off. And we see her lifestyle, and that this is ruined, and next this is a problem, and that she does it as we see her having a problem with her life. That should have been at the beginning of the movie. Like, she's having hard time sleeping, and she's having like these nightmares and such, and she's seeing things, at least like these flashbacks. Like, that should have been at the beginning of the movie. She just like, if that's how you're going to do it, you should have had that part, at least somewhat of like a knowledge of, okay, this is a disturbed person. Have that at the beginning of the movie, the setup that something happened in her past, and next move on, and next we get hints through this while they're on the mountain, and next that resolution at the end of the movie. That's how it should have been told, not the other way around. And so that's where I kind of get frustrated, and then that's where the movie falls and becomes just boring and just events happening. I mean, yes, the acting is great. There's some parts where it's very intense and where I'm like, okay, I can imagine myself in this situation and what I would do, and like if I would do the same thing at what they're doing right now. And there's a couple great wide shots of this while they're in the storm and all that, and on the mountain. Cool stuff, but that doesn't save the movie. That's not good enough to be like, all right, yeah, I enjoyed myself, and that's worth my money. But it's just not. I'm gonna give Infinite Storm a D-. It's not really worth anything. I highly doubt it's in theaters. I really don't. But if I was reviewing it when it came out, I would have said go see The Outfit, because I saw The Outfit the same day I saw this. So at least I got something good worth out of that. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.